Bart poured cranberry sauce into the replication machine. When he pressed the button, a terrifying scene occurred. The cranberry sauce seemed to come to life. Milhouse wanted to reach out and touch it, but the next second, the bones in his arm were sucked out by this monster. At this point, Bart and Milhouse realized its danger. They hurriedly found Lisa and told her what had just happened, but Nelson started playing with Milhouse's arm. Just as they were discussing how to deal with it, the monster immediately wrapped around Nelson's head and sucked out all the bones from his body. Bart and Lisa were terrified. Lisa said the monster would go to crowded places. At this time, the children were happily singing, unaware that danger was approaching. Bart and the others quickly rushed over and shouted loudly, telling them to leave quickly. Since the glass was too thick, they couldn't hear at all. The monster had already reached the air conditioning unit. Bart could only watch helplessly as the tragedy unfolded.
Oh, it's a shame.
Then they ran to a storage room on the spaceship. At this time, there were sounds outside the door. Bart quickly took out his slingshot.
It's Martin, let me in.
Lisa heard it was Martin and opened the door. Martin told them he had found an escape pod, so they followed Martin. Martin led them to a warehouse. When the lights turned on, a giant jar appeared before their eyes, and inside it was actually the monster. Martin suddenly closed the door. Only then did they realize that Martin and the monster were working together. Martin even worshipped this monster and was willing to dedicate his life to it. At this point, Lisa suggested luring the monster to the airlock. Bart immediately threw the giant jar into the airlock. Then they loudly cursed at the monster. The monster angrily rushed into the airlock. This played right into Lisa's trap. She threw the monster into space. However, the spaceship was punctured with a big hole by it. The spaceship fell down. When they woke up, they found themselves on a new planet. At this time, Marge and Homer were also there. The family was finally reunited.